don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman, because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Political Spotlight. Hi. Hello and welcome. This is the 225th episode. I'm reading the comments here. Reading what we've got going on down below. Welcome. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. Hope you've had a wonderful Saturday. Beautiful day. It's a warm one, and it's going to be warm for the next foreseeable future. We've got to that part of the summer, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Father's Day out there to all of you fathers and stepfathers and grandfathers and uncles and aunts and uncles and single mothers and people who were doing it, whatever, you know what it is, you know what the day is, have at it. Have a wonderful day. We are wrapping up the holiday and getting ready to spill over into another exciting week of local, state, and national politics here in the world in which we live. This is, I think I said, the 225th episode of the Political Spotlight. Welcome. Producer Kate, as always, is at the controls, making sure everything is running smooth or as smoothly as possible. Thank you for all of you for tuning in and giving us a bit of your time. We understand how valuable that is. Before we get into the show, I want to ask you all to consider hitting the like button. And I want to remind any of you that are not subscribers currently, I want to remind you that subscribing to the channel is free. It costs you nothing. Subscribing then allows you to click the bell, which allows you to set up notifications for when we go live, which is generally 5 nights a week, Sunday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, or when we drop static videos or shorts or other content. So please consider doing that. We're really close to the 1,000th subscriber, which will help us out, put us into another category for pushing us out into the world. But other than that, subscribers really don't matter. It's the viewers and the people that watch live and on their own time that count. It's those people that count. Thank you for all of you that are out there. But subscribe to the show if you haven't, because there is some perks there for you as well. Remember, this isn't just a show, ladies and gentlemen. I believe it is a community, and we want to hear what you have to think. If you're watching live, feel free to share your thoughts in the chat box over here on the side. If you're catching up later, drop your comments in the box below. Your voice matters to us. most importantly, please help spread the word by sharing the show with everyone you know. That's the single best thing that you can do to help the show. That's fantastic. So, hey, it's this was a party weekend. Besides being just a warm, beautiful weekend in Indiana, we had one of the most exciting groups that anyone could ever imagine. It's not like the followers of the Deadheads that follow the Grateful Dead or groupies of another show. It's the most exciting, most rebel-rousing group of individuals known to man. The Republican Party of the state of Indiana held their wet and wild and crazy party this weekend. They had a convention on Saturday, which means they had their party night Friday night. That's when they all get together and get down in Indy and mix it up. And you're going out to different places and drinking in this hospitality room and going over to this little area and this little hole in the wall, and everybody has alcohol and food, and they're trying to booze you up and get you intoxicated and full and fat and happy. A true hog of Epicurus's herd. And then they allow you to go back, and if you manage to make it down to the convention the next day, which starts pretty early, and they've got it to where it's like a massive disaster. It's like very planned out poorly. And you manage to get to the voting point, then you can cast your vote. It's amazing. I'll tell you, it's interesting because it is truly, hello there, Teresa Smock, the mayor, Alva, Lisa, Joe, GW, all the rest of you. It's an interesting look into human behavior, and it's like one of the only times that not Saturday, everybody's back to being nuts. But the event on Friday, it's like the one time that everybody lets their guard down and acts like humans. Because remember, politicians aren't people. So it's the one time that these political folk let down the bullshit and they act like humans for a moment. Who knew? And you've got people that generally don't get on well being able to like hang out in groups, because it's like kind of like, for those of you that know what I'm referring to, which should be a lot of you, it's like a pub crawl, except from going, well, no, it's, no, that's exactly what it is, because there's alcohol involved too. I'm a teetotaler. I don't drink. I am not someone that partakes in alcohol. So it like that does not sound, that part I don't care anything about. But you start at one place and you just go and go and go and go. And what happens is you go in these little groups, and it just is kind of like a haphazard thing. So like people try to plan it ahead of time, but you get down there and you go, and you're like with 3 or 4 people, and any grouping of 3 or 4 people you might look at, and any other day of the year, these people would hate each other. They do hate each other. They carry on, and yell and moan and bitch and, poke each other in the eye and try to do like harm to each other politically. But they're all able to put that past them just for one evening. It's quite the opposite. It's actually that I found the right drink during a period of my life, and I'm well past that. I didn't say I haven't been a drinker. I just said I do not drink now. Yeah, the police party, folks, was like last week, 2 weeks ago. Last week, I watched them put it all together. That was like last Tuesday or last Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah, I'm not much of a drinker anymore. I'm now have moved into I'm now more of a psychonaut, if you will. So, just letting everyone out there know. And of course, I'm joking if you're the police. All right. So, anyways, no, those are all jokes. All right. So, I'm trying to think here. We have a lot to talk about. And it has been, oh, yes. Yeah. Hey, speaking of the moon, for those of you on my social media, you are more than welcome. If you go back on, I think I made a post last night. You guys should check that out. Just if you're on Facebook, go back and look at you'll see a post that relates to the moon. You'll know what I'm talking about. Check it out. You will not be disappointed. Okay, so no, we've got a lot to talk about. And as I started to say, a bit of, how should I say this? A bit of I would say, heavy feeling has been laying itself on me in probably the last week, maybe the last 2 weeks, because I know that we are coming to a point where one of two things is going to happen. And see, this happens, it happens frequently, so I'm used to it. But I don't know if everyone out there in viewer land is. Now, a lot of you are, and a lot of you have hung with me throughout all of it, so I understand. But some of you guys are newer to this with me, so I don't know how it's going to affect all of you, and I just hate the process of being like, okay, it's going to happen. So what basically happens is I consider myself to be clearly fair and balanced, and obviously someone that walks straight down, meaning I look at all things the same. Now, I know I have a bias. I am clear about that. And still to this day, I have arguments with people when I tell them that, I believe this and I'm this way. And they're like, oh no, you're too level-headed for this, or you're too level-headed for that, or whatever. People want to put me into a box that fits better for them. And while I can appreciate that to some degree and understand why they do it, I always try my best to caution people that, no, look, I promise you think I'm a Democrat because I bust the balls of all these Republicans. I promise you I am not liberal in any stretch of the imagination. Or someone will say, oh, you like Mike Jones thought that I was, had made up with Dan Ridenhour because I was pushing for Stephen Brand. And it's like, no, you imbecile. I am capable of having complex thoughts, and I'm capable of supporting someone that I don't particularly like in certain aspects, because I'm playing long-term ball here. I understand what's going on now might be different down the road, but we've got to be able to get there. So that's coming. And there are going to be people out there that are watching this very program right now, or that will listen to this at some point, and they were like either not hearing what I'm saying or whatever, but then at a future date, they will be disappointed in me because of maybe a person that I support, or a idea that I push forward, or whatever. And so I know that's coming, and that has been laying heavy on me. And so we're just going to get into it. And what a greater time to get into it than this weekend, when absolutely the single greatest thing happened in Indiana politics, or the single most horrible thing happened in Indiana politics, or it was just another day and nothing happened one way or another. Either way, it was just another day. See, that's the thing. If you listen to people out in the world, yesterday was the greatest thing or the worst thing. And to me, I'm just like, yeah, it was just another day. It wasn't a big thing one way or another. Some big things happened, but to me, I look at it and think, man, we've got so much more to fight on, that this is just another dog turd in the pile, in my opinion. And so that's kind of what this show is going to be about. Of course, we're going to be talking about the win of Micah Beckwith. It was a great day. It was the worst day. It was just another day. So that's going to be what we're going to be talking about here in a moment. But before we get there, I do have a big announcement to make. A big announcement. I almost thought about, wait a minute, when was this? When did this first happen? Did it happen Friday? Let's see. Let me go back in my thing to look here. Where's that at? Oh, I know, right here. So basically, it was on Friday. I almost considered going live like late, because no, it was Thursday. It was Thursday evening. So I considered going live Friday to talk about this. And I thought, it doesn't really matter. We'll just cover it Sunday. So for those of you that have followed local Delaware County politics, specifically going into the end of last year and into the filing period, one of the races that I was very specific about was I wanted a Democrat to run. I wanted a Republican to run. I wanted anybody, anywhere, in any capacity to file to run in the race of the Delaware County Circuit Court 2 judge race. And the filing period came and went back in January, in the beginning of February, and nobody had filed. No Republicans had filed. No Democrats had filed. And looking out at because in order to be a circuit court judge, you have to be an attorney. And looking at the landscape of Indiana attorneys in Delaware County, I kind of thought, well, we've screwed the pooch. It's gone. We've lost this chance. And Judge Dowling will be walking into another 6-year term. And I was very distraught by this because Dowling is an absolutely shit show of a judge. She is a horrible, horrible judge. Horrible meaning if you are a victim of crime, if you are a witness to crime, specifically crimes against children, sexually related crimes, things like that, she is not a friend of yours. She is a friend of defendants and has done a very horrible job in that department. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was announced Thursday evening going into Friday that because the Republicans did not fill the ballot on the filing period, if they do not fill the ballot and there is nobody that goes into the primary ballot, they then have another period. Democrats do as well. Both sides have a period to fill empty holes on the ballot. And the Republicans in Delaware County have announced that Andrew Ramirez will be running against Dowling this fall. So a deputy prosecutor who's currently a deputy prosecutor is running against Dowling. Delaware County voters will decide a contested judicial race in the November 5th general election. Now, this is new. This is from the Star Press. On Thursday, Deputy Prosecutor Andrew Ramirez announced he will be a Republican candidate for judge of Delaware Circuit Court 2. He will try to unseat Democratic Judge Kimberly Dowling, who has been on the Circuit Court 2 bench since first winning election in 2012. Dowling was unopposed in her bid for her second 6-year term back in 2018. Ramirez, 36, kind of young, as a deputy prosecutor, was assigned to Dowling's court from January of 2017 through March of 2022. He said Thursday he came away with my own vision and passion to take things in a different direction. In a release, the Republican said if elected, he would decide cases promptly based on the law as it's written and by using common sense and reason, regardless of personal views, beliefs, or feelings about the issues or the parties. He also said that it's critical that a judge be fair and impartial, regardless of who the parties are or who their lawyers may be. And that's obviously very true. Ramirez announced his candidacy at a Thursday gathering at the Republican Party headquarters in downtown Muncie. Former prosecutor Jeffrey Arnold issued a statement endorsing Ramirez's candidacy. Delaware County's current elected prosecutor Eric Hoffman has issued a press release with criticisms of fellow Democrat Dowling's rulings in several criminal cases. Ramirez said Thursday that Hoffman had never once asked him to run against Dowling. The Republican said that he made the decision to enter the race after consulting with his wife, Brittany Ramirez, who is also a Muncie attorney and a deputy prosecutor. Ramirez, a Lake County native, has lived in Muncie for a decade and was hired by Arnold as a deputy prosecutor more than 7 years ago. So that's out there. Now, I've got to say, I do not know Andrew Ramirez. He was not in the prosecutor's office when I worked in the prosecutor's office. Our paths have not crossed in that way, and I do not know Mr. Ramirez. We are not friends. We are not associates. I don't know him, and I've got a lot to ask of him. It's not a secret. How is he running against her? Yeah, she filed to run. She filed as a Democrat. But then the Republicans, basically Indiana says that you have a filing period, which is like a 28-day filing period from the beginning of January to the beginning of February. And basically, if no one files in one of the Republicans or Democrats slots and the primary goes through and there's an empty seat in the primary, then one or the other party can fill their holes if they want. So, yeah, that's all right, Alva. Maybe I didn't explain that. I didn't explain that all the way. So, of course, there's a lot that I want to learn about Ramirez, and I want to, lack of a better term, judge him as a person, as a candidate, and as a judicial mind. I don't think I think his wife is a city court prosecutor, if I'm not mistaken. See, those are a couple things that I will want to understand. So the first thing that happens anytime there is something like this happens, one of my big things is corruption and trying to take out the appearance of impropriety and the overlap and the basically the intermingling of things. Sometimes people go too far with that. Look, we live in Muncie, Delaware County, Indiana. We don't live in New York. It's very possible, hell, even Indianapolis. It's very possible that there are deputy prosecutors that work in the Indianapolis-Marion County Prosecutor's Office that don't know each other because of the amount of prosecutors there. Specifically speaking, in Marion County, there are attorneys that don't know each other. When you come to somewhere like Delaware County, or you come to Muncie, or Anderson, or Winchester, you're not going to have that. All of the attorneys know each other. If they are a practicing attorney of any substance they practice frequently, they practice in criminal or civil or both, they're going to be in front of all. They're going to be in front of all judges. A lot. So your judges are going to know each other. Your attorneys are going to know each other. Your prosecutors are going to know each other. The thing is, it's not that they're not, or they can't be friends, or they can't have outside personal relationships. It's that their job and their duty is to be one in which they can go into the courtroom and remove that ability and say, okay, I've got a job to do, and I've got to represent my client, or I've got to represent the state, or I've got to represent whatever the situation is. Now, are you going to have situations where you've got people that cross the line and do dirty things? Absolutely. That's what we try to fight with here. And we try to, get to the bottom of. That being said, basically the prosecutor's office is divided up. If it's still the same, the prosecutor's office is divided up into where there basically is one prosecutor Hello. Can you hear me? So we lost. I don't know how long. How long were we out of there? Can you hear me?
I've been able to hear you.
We were frozen.
Okay. You've been fine.
Okay. All right. So getting back, sorry, we froze there for like some time. How the prosecutor's office is divided up, if it's still the same way, was that there is a deputy prosecutor assigned to each of the circuit courts. So Circuit Court 1 has a deputy prosecutor, Circuit Court 2 has a deputy prosecutor, Circuit Court 3 has a deputy prosecutor, 4, 5, and then City Court has a deputy prosecutor. City Court handles misdemeanors, so your misdemeanor cases, OWIs, batteries, possession of marijuana, and the circuit courts handle your felonies. And so basically, periodically, you will have times where prosecutors will cross over, but generally they're practicing in front of one judge pretty much all the time. And so that's kind of what goes on there. And so, if his wife is in misdemeanor court, then they won't really ever cross. There's just no issue there. If she is in big boy court, if she's up in the felony courts, then she just would never practice in front of him. She wouldn't ever take cases in there. They would basically, it's like what we've seen in the situation where Ryan Webb filed the recount in court. Well, because he's a councilman that will have to go over their court budgets for all 5 of the courts. All 5 of the courts recused themselves. So, right there. So there we hear it. Miss Ramirez is the deputy prosecutor in the Family Support 4D court. So I did not know that. That means there will be zero interaction there. She will 4D court, the Family Support court, deals with family support issues, and there will be no interaction there. She does not, that won't happen. So, that is, that's that. So I appreciate you telling me that. I did not know. I thought she was in a deputy prosecutor in city court. So I appreciate that input there. So there are some questions I have for Mr. Ramirez, and I feel I mean, I'm telling you, just right out of the gate, knowing nothing of him, I am pushing people his way for people to find out information themselves. I'm having people in Delaware County jump to his page. I have interacted with his page, and I'm going to continue doing that because I want to get information out. I'm not telling people to just blindly follow him. I want people to go there and ask questions and get to the bottom of their issues and their thoughts and ask these, because he's a candidate and that's what he needs to be doing between now and November 5th. So I definitely hope that he's willing to be out there and be part of the process. Judges are weird because they're supposed to do what they can to be as non quote unquote political as possible, which is kind of funky because obviously they've got to run as Republican or Democrat and yada, yada, yada. So it is whatever. They kind of, one of the things that happened was weird when they announced it, because they first, I actually, in liking and supporting him at this point and hoping that, he's a good candidate and wanting to learn more about him and not being a fan of Dowling's, when this first all came out Thursday evening, I started hearing, little bits and pieces. Day one of not hearing from Ramirez. No, in fairness, I've not asked him any. in fairness, I've not asked him anything yet. But no, what I was going to say was, the first thing that happened was Josh Talby, who is a Republican lackey for no pun intended, lack of a better word. Josh Talby, who's a Republican lackey who worked in the clerk's office, the Delaware County clerk's office, and then moved to the auditor's office for a couple of weeks, and then is now the animal care director for the city of Muncie under Dan Ridenour. He announced who was Ryan, Talby or Ramirez? Ramirez. I thought I saw him in some pictures. I thought I saw him in some pictures. So Talby shared it out there and then has me blocked. So a bunch of people were sending it to me. Did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this? And I'm clicking on it and can't see anything. And I'm going to it in all these different places and I can't see it. Then someone else says, did you see this from Jessica Piper? Bing, sends me to it. I click on it, can't see it. I said, stop sending me the link. Send me a screenshot. What am I looking at? 35 people sent me this thing. Bing, 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 right in a row. And I was like, I can't see any of these. What is this nonsense? So I actually text Eric Hoffman and I text Ramirez. And I said, yo, if you're doing a kickoff to be a candidate running for a seat and you're having people share your shit, you might want to have them not have people blocked because I can't see it. And that's a problem. So that was quickly remedied, I noticed. And so that was that. And I appreciate that. No, Stumblefoot, I would say that it's because he's already got a nice job. I mean, he's already got a good job making good money. So there's no real reason to leave where he's at. I mean, let's face it, he's going to make more money being a judge, obviously, than a deputy prosecutor. But he makes decent money now as it is. That's that. So, listen, without having spoke to him yet, I know that he has to be frustrated. He was a deputy prosecutor in her court. I know that he has witnessed what would happen in the situations with the crimes against children and seeing one of the most egregious things I can think of is what she did with I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Killed his wife, Herbert. I don't know if that's his first name or last name, but anyways, that was one of the most egregious. And so I know that he has to have issue with that and take issue with that. I know he's going to get a lot of heat and he's going to take heat from people who are going to say, well, is he just running because his boss is running? See, there had been a lot of talk that Eric might run, that people thought Eric was going to run against her. And Eric very well could have ran against her. I mean, I think Eric is not done being prosecutor yet, but he, I don't see that being, because there's other people that Eric could have asked or leaned on or pushed. Kenneth Herbert. Yes. You are right. And so, I think that's the thing. One thing that's gonna hurt Andrew Ramirez a little bit is his age. I'm just being real. He's 36 years old. He's been a deputy prosecutor for the last 7 years. Being a deputy prosecutor gives you a lot of courtroom experience. So I'm not going to say he's not, and he's a deputy prosecutor in Delaware County. We've got a lot that goes on here. So I'm not going to say he's not tried. He's at this point, I would consider him a veteran an attorney. Getting there on being a veteran trial attorney, in 7 years, I would say he's tried probably a good number of cases. By now he's probably been involved with one of about everything I'm sure he's been a part of a murder trial. I'm sure, I know he's done misdemeanors. I know he's done everything else you could think of. So I'm not gauging his ability, but age is going to be something that people are going to look at, period. That's just that. Don't know much about Ramirez, but surely he is better than her. I'm telling you, Dowling has, I was very impressed with, I'm going to tell a story that a lot of people don't know. I had a situation in which my father had went to Judge Dowling long before she was a judge, when she was a private attorney. And I was very impressed with her as an attorney. Very impressed with her as an attorney. But I just have not been as impressed with her as a judge. So that's that. And Stumblefoot says, as a prosecutor, can already see bias on which side of the scale falls. The problem there, though, is when you're talking about people running for judge, specifically in a community like Delaware County, all of your attorneys are going to be either prosecutor or defense. So anyone that runs for judge, you're going to have someone say, well, I see that bias on the side of that judge. They're a prosecutor, so they're going to lean that way, or their defense. And so you're going to have that. So it's wiggly. It is wiggly. My lady got summoned on for an attempted murder case that Ramirez and Craig were over. She got dismissed mostly because she said she would shoot AR if he was coming after her. Good. That's amazing. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the announcement. We'll have to watch and see how that falls out and where we go from there. All right. Now on to the big news. First and foremost, I want to say, sounds like the Delaware County delegates that went down to the convention this weekend, the 2024 State of Indiana Republican Convention, it kicked off Friday night, And I'll show you here. There's a couple. Let me see if I can get these. I knew that was going to do that. Give me a second for that to load. While that's loading, we'll go back here to the comments here. Give me 1 second here. So for those of you that are not familiar, basically, as we've said, and I'm not going to beat it to death because we've all talked about this now, but basically they go down there. They have the ability, if they want, to go down Friday night, and they can either drive down and drive back, or they can get a lot of them tend to get a room and stay down there. And they go out Friday night and they go to all of these different meet and greet. Basically, it's generally designed so the delegates can meet the various candidates. However, during this convention, you only had two choices, to pick from. And so this is a situation, and I want to keep everybody in line here. These lieutenant governor candidates, they are not elected by the people. We are not electing them. You didn't cast them. I didn't cast them. We elect the delegates. The delegates go, and then the delegates are the ones that vote for them. And like Ryan said, there was free alcohol at every event, man. I got to tell you, this is really a big, really trying to go heavy, trying to, favor, gain favor over someone else down the street and trying to make a good impression, yada, yada, yada. And so some people might like that. Other people might not. I know there were a number of Delaware County delegates that did not go down Friday night, nor did they go down Saturday. There were a number of Delaware County delegates that did not attend. And that's bothersome, in my opinion. We elect these people to go down and to vote, their conscience vote the way that we ask, or we push upon them or impress upon them to run. Ryan, do you know how many people from Delaware County didn't go? I think Delaware County has 28 delegates. That's how many. If everybody goes that's supposed to go, we would have a total of 28 delegates. And so that's number one. Question number one. And that has to be asked of the Republican Party. Now, for those of you that are saying, wait a minute, where's the Democratic convention? First and foremost, the Democratic convention will be held in July. But second of all, currently, I don't believe that there are any candidates. I don't believe that there are any candidates that are currently on the block for lieutenant governor on the Democrat side. I don't really know what's going on there. Let me see this real quick. Give me a second here. Man, I tell you, I cleared everything out on my computer, and I'm still, It's running slower than... I cannot understand this. I'm going to have to figure something out. Okay, I want to find out here. It'll tell me right here. So the 2024 Indiana State Republican Convention. It's loading here. I'm off screen if there's people talking. I know for a fact there were 18 to 20 people who showed up from Delaware County. Okay, so there were 18 to 20 people from Delaware County that showed up. So that's a pretty big amount of delegates. So all right, here we go. I'll show you here on the screen. See how far I can blow this up. Okay, the Republican Party of the state of Indiana in a state convention will meet on Saturday, June 15th. The delegates are as follows. Adams has 12. Allen has 100. Delaware County, I was right, had 28. Delaware County had 28 delegates. So, hell, I mean, if 20 of them showed up, that's only 8 that didn't. So that's pretty good. Yeah, look at this. Union County has 3 delegates. It's really, really amazing to see the difference. Like Marion County has 120. I think they're definitely have to be the highest. 112 is Hamilton County. Allen is 100. Lake County's 106. So you can see kind of the biggest. But there were a total of 18. I forget what they said. 18. I think it was like 18, 28, something like that. David Williams was there. So they go down and they have this big party event. I'm going to try to show you some of the pictures here from well, let's see here. I don't know if this is going to be from the day of. I don't want the day of. I want the night before. Damn it. Okay. Anyways, so there were a bunch of different people from the different areas, and when the delegates go down there, they basically break up into groups of 4, 5, 6, whatever, and they walk around. Yeah, it's a lot of beer. It is definitely a lot of beer. Absolutely. And they walk around. Now, I will tell you. So I heard a couple things. I was sitting Friday night. I went over to my grandparents' house and listen to what we did Friday. Listen to my exciting Friday. Friday, go over and have an amazing evening with my grandparents watching Oppenheimer. I am a party animal. It was an amazing way to spend a Friday. I can't think of doing anything better. So went over there and I started getting contacted by people that were delegates from other areas outside of Delaware County. The first one I got, hold on here. We're getting a text message. I want to see if I should, or if someone's stopping me from saying something. amazingly, this had something to do with what I was just getting ready to talk about. So I will hold on. Let me take a picture. So yeah, Oppenheimer was so long, dude. If you haven't watched it, it's like 6 hours long. I was amazed at how long. So I'm sending you a picture, Kate. Put up. Let me make sure that no one can be seen. Yeah, no one can. So I want to preface this by saying, for at least the last month, if you are a strong viewer of this program, you will know that I have been speaking kindly to someone and about somebody that I have not spoke kindly of in the past. Over the last month, maybe month and a half, I have said nothing but kind words to and about Muncie City Clerk Belinda Munson. Listen, I actually said her name, Belinda Munson. I didn't call her cardboard box. You notice, like, I literally have been calling her by her name. I've not been calling her clerk cardboard box. I've been saying that I think that she's been doing a good job. I've been saying that I like this little new spice that's been added to it. Now, I'm not saying that I think that she's like the bestest person in the world. I think that she still, like, you know, loves to mean mug people. I think she's still an absolute monster terror. I mean, you know, look, you are who you are. Own it, girl. You know what I mean? But I've been talking nicely about her. Oh, no. No, Karen, that one's not her. This is someone else, amazingly. I've been talking nicely about her too, Karen. But no, I've been very impressed with how Belinda has been behaving when dealing with the administration here. And according to her, I don't ever talk to her or about her. I don't care less about her. Very similar to a mole rat, honestly. Anywho, I've been very cool with her here lately. Well, I heard now, and I have not spoke to anyone involved. As a matter of fact, this is the first time I've seen Ryan on here. I don't even know if he's still here. I heard that there was a little bit of a scene caused on Friday night between Belinda and a couple different people. I heard from delegates outside of Delaware County that Belinda went crazy off on Ryan Webb, talking to him about being on that podcast, saying those things. But I don't even know. I don't know. I got to go back. I don't know that Ryan Webb has ever said anything about Belinda Munson on here. I can't think about what we would have ever been talking about. They're in two separate parts of government. She's in the city, he's in the county. I don't know what he would have ever said about her on one of the shows around here. I don't go back really and watch my stuff, so I don't know. But if anybody out there knows, if any of you out there have ever heard or can remember something that Ryan Webb has said about Belinda Munson, let me know. But that got broken up apparently, and then she started off on another couple people, but apparently she was like a holy terror Friday night. And somebody sent this to me right as I started talking about this. Still in the best mood, and I was very productive today. I even went to the office for an hour. Go me. Someone said I would have been I would be in a good mood today if I'd been an absolute terror over the weekend too. So I don't know what the deal was, but Belinda, truce, woman. You've been doing good work lately. Now, she's going to obviously be bad about all of this and me airing her dirty laundry, but that's part of it. You're an elected official. If you don't want to be talked about, leave that office. When you're an elected official and you do good, people talk about you. When you're an elected official and you do bad, people talk about you. When you're an elected official and you think you do good, other people might think they're bad, and they're going to talk about you. All kinds of things are going to happen if you don't like it. Dude, this is like the first year of your second term. Let that roll off your shoulders, girl. I know. I think she had I think she had a room down. I don't know anything about her. I don't know if she had a room down there or not. I don't really know what goes on, but I just know that she was causing quite a scene Friday night. So just, I guess, Miss Personality and Charlie Richmond's sidekick. That's so weird, isn't it? That's really strange. That's really strange. No, you know, as hard as I try, if you don't, there we go, Alva. There's the quote of the night. If you don't want your laundry aired, don't hang it on the line. Ding, 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 ding. I tell you, one thing you could do is maybe pick your battles in a little bit quieter. Ooh, I like that. I like that, Bree. Keep me posted. David Williams. Dude, the Democrat convention's next month, bro. Oh. All right. Now, see, I didn't know where it was. I hadn't heard. So it was actually inside an event. Now Ryan is in trouble. This, I think, might be the only time he's ever commented on her. You know what I mean? Just do your job and everything will go smooth until your replacement is elected. That's it, bro. That's it. People need to not look at it like a career and just do their thing. Okay, so that was the Friday night nonsense and people carrying on and going sideways. I'm going to let me show you here. Give me just 1 second here. I want to show you I do want to show you this I've got a couple things I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to show you a video here in just a second. We're going to break down this video just a bit. Beep, 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 beep. Stay there. Don't go anywhere. I saw you about to log off. Don't log off. We're almost there. Okay, here we go. So I want to get to the front of these. Come on. give you just kind of a little bit of an understanding of what it was like. I would highly recommend anybody that has not, if you're interested in politics, run for delegate. Oftentimes they don't ever have the full 28 that we need. And they then, if they don't have the full 28, that then allows them to pick and appoint the delegates. So if you're not interested in letting these people, if you're not interested in letting Ed pick, what time is it, folks? If you're not interested in letting Ed pick, oh, look at this. Look who we got here. See who we got here. If you're not interested in letting Ed pick who our person is, then you could run. Look at this. Anybody know who this is? So look there. It looks how amazing. Let's see here what more we've got. Oh God. We're getting kind of away. All right, here.
You know, Niles and I went to the Libertarian Convention.
Yeah, tell me about that.
You know, and we joked that it was a bunch of very odd people all collected in one place.
Yes.
Apparently, that's just the way conventions are.
That's just the way conventions are.
I thought it was just because we were libertarians, and libertarians tend to be a little bit out there, odd. But looking at these pics, maybe we're not.
Listen, I think the Libertarian is probably the most crazy of the bunch. But I think they're all a little bit just like on a tiered level. I think that you know, everybody's probably just as crazy, but Libertarians, I think, might be up there.
A little scunch above, but
yeah.
Looking at the pics, I don't think that it's nearly as out of the realm of normal as I had assumed.
Yeah, that's about right. I think that's fair to say. I think that's pretty fair. And while I'm sure that somebody here probably ate an edible or two, I'm at least none of the speakers had to leave because of it. So, all right, next up, what we're going to show is okay, we're going to show basically what happened when they announced the win. And then what I want to do is I want to let you hear Beckwith's speech. Then I want to let you see Braun's face and let you hear Braun's speech. And then we're going to talk about it. And then we're going to roll. Okay, so here we go. And I want to thank, I want to absolutely thank the person on the screen right there, Janet. I want to thank her for these videos, putting these videos up and sharing these videos, because we were able to capture this through her videos. So awesome. I love it. Okay, here we go.
It's finally over. We have the results that have been tabulated, backed up, checked, and double checked. On the stage with me are Brad King, Chief Tabulator, also the Assistant Tabulator.
Dear Lord.
The results after one and only one round of voting for Lieutenant Governor of the state of Indiana, Micah Beckwith.
Yeah, no. Trump's endorsement did not work. Look, a lot of delegates did not go. And the question is, who were those delegates that didn't go? Were they the delegates that were absolutely going to vote for Julie? And they thought that she had it in the bag, so they're like, hey, it doesn't matter? Or were they votes for Beckwith and they thought he doesn't have a chance, so I'm not going to go? And then basically what happens is he won, but he didn't win by as much. You don't really know. Beckwith, if you didn't hear there, and we're going to continue this on, I'm going to jump to Beckwith's speech. Beckwith had 891 votes. Julie McGuire had 828 votes. So Beckwith won 891. His was 891, and she lost with 828. And what's amazing is that's 63 votes. That's 63 votes. So of the 120 people that didn't show up, of the 120 people that didn't show up, that definitely could have made votes. How many did not show up? Okay, let me tell you. Okay, so I will tell you right now. Give me 1 second. Come on. Okay. It's telling me that Kate, can you see if you can find that and how many delegates there are for the Republican? Like the people in Indiana win because let me see here. Okay. Well, it looks like Damn it. I don't know. Well, maybe we'll figure that out. Every place that it would send me to, it gave another number. I don't know which one's actually correct. While we're looking here, let me go ahead and play this. Let me see if he tells us here.
891 votes. Julie McGuire, 828 votes.
Wow! Whoa! Praise God!
1719, 1,719. If you're writing this down again, Micah Beckwith, 891. Julie McGuire, 828.
Praise God!
Oh, damn it. Well,
What do you mean?
come on. Okay, he's walking onto the stage. Here we go. We want to get his speech.
Thank you,
There he is.
Indiana. I am humbled. I'm overwhelmed, and I am encouraged that Indiana knows that the power of the government rests with the people. There are so many amazing people in this audience today, and I want to tell you one thing. The Republican Party should be incredibly excited around the state of Indiana right now.
Yes!
We have traveled the states, and I have seen so many encouraging signs that our nation is going in the right direction because of states like Indiana. Because of what I see around this entire state every single day for the last.
Okay, there it's jumping up. Hold on. I'm trying to win the battle with the line worm.
Year and a half.
Yeah!
I want to let you know that I will be a lieutenant governor that will always put others first. My wife Susan and I, we will stand with you when you need someone to stand with. We will pray for you when you need prayer. We will fight for you when you need a warrior to fight with you.
Yeah! We love you, Micah!
And I want to say this about our next governor, Mike Braun. I'm excited to work with that man. He's going to do great things for our state.
Now, it's interesting that Micah said, I'm excited to work with that man, because I want you to listen to what Braun says in a moment when Braun comes then on the stage to speak about this win that he just obviously had to have been blindsided by.
We love you, Micah!
I have said my job as lieutenant governor will be to do everything in my power to make him the most successful conservative governor in the entire United States.
Yeah!
Damn it. Well, the devil is definitely here in this technology tonight. I'll tell you that.
Became the most successful conservative governor in the entire United States.
Yay! Woo!
Let's make sure Indiana is in those conversations when we reference states like Florida and Texas and Indiana.
Yeah!
If we're claiming that's going to be Mike Braun, I've got some serious doubt about that.
I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you to all the volunteers, to the hard work, my team, my beautiful wife Susan, my incredible team on the Beckwith for Lieutenant Governor. I could not.
Reload this damn site. Hold on. I can't put up with this much longer. Stand by 1 second.
Do you want me to share mine?
Yeah, see if you can do that. If you can share yours and go to 531.
531.
Yeah.
On that train, I cannot do without you. Give it up for them right now.
Janet, how many delegates did we have? How many delegates are you saying were total?
The entire state and the entire nation to hear this. We know that if God's people will humble themselves, will pray, will turn from their wicked ways and repent, He will hear them from heaven and He will heal their land.
Yes, yes.
And Indiana, let's do this together. I am fully convinced that what John 8:32 says, you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. If we want freedom to reign in Indiana and across this nation so the whole world can see that beautiful city on a hill again, let's speak the truth. Let's speak it in love. Let's do it boldly and never back down from what is right and true.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Jesus.
Again, I am incredibly honored and blessed and humbled to be your Lieutenant Governor nominee. We will not let you down. We will work tirelessly for the people of Indiana. And together, we're going to see America become that great nation again under President Trump, under Mike Braun, and then me as your Lieutenant Governor. Let's go do this.
Amen. Yes.
Okay, so he's off. All right, now, all right, pause that. And then, okay, so before we move on, then, can you jump to where Braun comes on?
Oh, there. Oh, goody. I put that picture up in the duck for you. All right, about there. That work?
Yeah, keep it there.
Hit
Okay.
play.
No,
Okay.
just not yet. Take it down real quick. So,
That's my favorite picture of all time.
yeah. This thing is it up? I can't see if it's up or not.
Yes, it's up.
God damn it.
Well, that's a look of disappointment.
So this picture, this picture here is absolutely insane. I mean, this is the picture worth 1,000 words. I mean, if I've ever seen one, it's absolutely nuts. And I mean, it's been everywhere. People have been like saying, oh, like caption this picture and all this other stuff. It's definitely you can see that this was not what Braun thought he was going to be coming out to. He definitely just was blown away. I mean, it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
and
Republican
Janet
Kamala Harris to a conservative Christian.
Yeah. Well, and Janet shared, gentleman had made a post that said, after Micah made an excellent speech after winning, impassioned, humble, and even inspired, Braun made a speech that shocked me. Braun had been on fire the night before, but here he was acting like he had just lost. He was ungracious towards Beckwith and almost whiny. Mostly the delegates won. In this state, delegates elect the lieutenant governor. It's not the choice of the primary elected governor candidates, but immediately after the primary, Braun went public with his choice. The delegates that you elected supported Micah Beckwith by a narrow margin, and they got their choice. Beckwith is a constitutional conservative, outspoken pro-life Christian. Within 90 minutes of winning, he was speaking at the memorial of a woman instead of being out celebrating. Micah needs to hang on to his reins tightly, and Braun needs to apologize to him and the delegates. Hey, Braun, it's not a good look for you. Do better. And that was posted by Rob Green. But just the look that you see in his face, and there might
it reminds me of this.
Yeah, put that little girl up. That's hilarious.
It reminds me of this little girl.
It looks, is she up? I can't. Something's going on with my side. Okay. That. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. Braun, that is the exact image that puts in mind. There are actually some clearer pictures of him that's like from right up front, and it's just like, yo, dude, like you're not even acting. And the other thing I was told was, how old first of all, do you know how old he is?
Braun?
Like, Braun, like, don't look it up, just guess.
66.
Okay, so you say he looks 66. I would say if I was guessing, that's pretty much where I would place him too. But I heard from more than one person that said that he in person looks extremely old. That he like came off as very, like, he does not look in person like he looks right there. And so I don't know how old he actually is or not, or if he just had is he really?
70. Yes.
Okay, so that's not 70. I mean, 66 to 70 is not drastically different, but I think that's interesting. Okay, can you put back up your place there? We'll take this down and play the rest of this. Play Braun's speech now.
And Micah Beckwith.
Yeah!
He looks kerfluffled.
I told you all along, I'm going to be accessible, I'm going to be transparent, and I love competition. And Micah, even though I chose someone else to be my partner, you and I have known one another, and everything you believe in, I have as well. I'm a guy that knows how to get from here to there. I'll handle it well, even when it doesn't go your way. And we will take Indiana to that next level, because everything you're interested in that you've been disappointed with recently, that's going to change.
Yes, yes.
And as long as you are all on board, and I think Michael will be as well, we need to figure out how, what I said earlier, we've got a supermajority in our state legislature.
That-
We've got a slate of
A supermajority of idiots
running our state offices. It's going to be up for us
It's not a
to
supermajority
show all
Christian, that's for
Hoosiers
sure.
what you can do with that.
Yes.
When I got into this business 6-7 years ago, you can't imagine the ups and downs you go through, the changes of direction, where you've got to confront a marketplace that's not going your way. All the things you've done running a business. It's not the euphoria every day of kicking your heels together because it was that easy. It's generally the opposite. Politics has that same analog. And Micah did a heck of a job.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. We love you, Micah. Yay!
He got up there with no speech prepared for this
Yeah.
possibility.
No. Yeah.
We had a different angle to get to maybe the same place. And I'll draw on that experience. When I was scrapping in the real world, many times the people I competed against were in the real world with a different point of view. We came together down the road. That's what we'll do here. We'll take Indiana to that next level. Congratulations on what you accomplished.
Yeah. Listen, that was such a pathetic speech. Like, that was. Look
Like
at
it
him.
was going to affect his wallet.
If I could, I'd just like to say something about Senator Braun here. Never once did he ever try to push me out of this race. And I just wanted to say thank you for that.
Bullshit.
And that truly does define, I think, the man that I've gotten to know over the last few years. And he's somebody that believes in the process. You told me from day one, Senator, that you believe in the process. And I want to say thank you for that. And I want to say thank you to Julie, too. Julie worked her tail off, too, just like I did, just like all of us did in this room. Can we give it up?
I disagree with him because they had the big push down in Evansville. They got rid of the delegates that they didn't want, the duly elected delegates. Braun did not. He might not have been right there ahead of the fray, pushing Micah out the door, but he did everything that he could. Coming out after the win, listen, I want to tell people this because I've got people that I like and people that I respect on both sides of this. And listen, I'm voting for rainwater. I'm voting for rainwater. All right? I want to be very clear about this. The problem here that I need people to understand, okay? I don't care if you're a Democrat, specifically if you're a Democrat in Indiana. But if you're a Republican, if you're a Ryan Webb Republican, if you're Troy Ingram, if you're someone like me, if you're someone like Catherine Callahan, and lots of other people, we understand that the system is against regular people in politics because money and friends who people have their heads up their asses are what matters. It doesn't matter who the best person is. It matters who's friends with Jessica Piper and who's friends with Ed Carroll and who's friends with Russ and Tom Hyde and who's friends with Ben Wells and who's friends with what's the lady that's the party chairman? I forget her name. Anne Hathaway. I know people. I'm not confused. It's really that's who the party chairperson is right now in the state. All the pretty people. The party and politics in general are against regular people. if you're a Democrat, it's even much more stacked against you. Are there things about Micah that I don't like? Yes. Yes, there are. Are there things about Julie that I like? I'm sure there might be. I'm sure there might be. I am sure that I don't hate her as a human. I'm sure that I don't hate her as a human being. I guarantee you. That being said, I don't know anything positive. Yeah, right, Alva. Absolutely. I don't know anybody that I just completely hate or anybody that I'm in love with. You know, the thing is, unless you out there watching this right now, unless you are the candidate, unless you're elected, unless I am elected, every other human that is running or that is serving, there are going to be things that we can find fault in. Listen, I was talking with my grandparents this weekend about this and about politics. There are lots of things I don't agree with my grandfather about, politically speaking. My grandfather he's not a liberal, but he's a Democrat. My grandpa's a Democrat. Hardcore. My grandma is a Republican, but she doesn't like Trump. And it is what it is. There's things I disagree with her about. There's things that I disagree with him about. There are things that I would disagree with my dad about. Lots of things I disagree with my dad about. Lots of things I disagree with my mom about. Lots of things I disagreed with my wife about when I was married. Lots of things I would disagree with, with my girlfriend about. Lots of things I disagree with people that, unless you're the one doing it, you're going to have issue with. I'm voting for rainwater. But that doesn't mean that I don't want Jennifer McCormick to have the very best lieutenant governor candidate possible with her. That doesn't mean that I don't like Braun. I do not like Braun. Braun is not a conservative. Braun is not, in my opinion, a constitutionalist. Braun is everything wrong with the party. Okay? Absolutely. Absolutely, Alla. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. That's exactly correct. But I want Braun to have the best person possible. Now, there are going to be those people out there saying, oh, but Micah is dangerous. Micah's bad. Micah's this. Micah's that. Look, he might be, but you know how much I'm getting from Suzanne Crouch? You know how much I'm getting from the Republican Party? If I can get 5% more than what I'm currently getting from any of those idiots in power, bring it on. Bring it on. If I can get 20% more, if I can find somebody that I have 70% fault with, 70% fault with, 70% fault with, that means I have 30% that I agree with them on. Okay, That's better than the 5% that I'm getting from Holcomb or the Republicans. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. Stumblefoot. It doesn't mean I disagree with your view to not like the person. That's what America is great for. We can argue it and fight it to the death and bang that drum till the cows come home. You're a troll, man. I have to give it to David. I heard that he was doing some hardcore trolling. I heard that David was doing some hardcore trolling to some folks down in Indy, and I just got to say I give you praise. I give you praise, David, for some shit that I heard about your performance down in at the convention. I agree. Yeah. You're right. Ron's speech was scary because it had no energy in it. That's exactly right. Because he got his ass handed to him. He got his butt beat. So, I don't know. Janet. I don't know. I've always said that I would never run for office again. But I could see running for delegate just to be a troll. I mean, to take it serious. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, David. I love it. I know you did. I love it. But so that's that, man. I don't know. You know, to each your own. You're gonna have to know if Saturday was the greatest day or Saturday was the worst day. The bottom line is we've got more work to do. We cannot rest on the fact that David, I love it. We cannot rest on the fact that well, Micah won. We beat the establishment. All right, everybody back to work. Everybody back to work. Nothing to see here. Everything's fantastic. Micah won. Micah beat the establishment. No. We have so much. None of that matters. Yes. It gave people hope that a non-establishment person won a seat. Let me tell you, Webb won a seat, and then look what happened, and you know, look at winning a seat only matters if they don't beat you down. Jim Lucas. I saw Jim Lucas over the weekend made some kind of really bizarre comment about how Braun was such an amazing person and was going to do all this. And I'm like, well, let me get to that. Hold on here. I want to pull this up so y'all can see the comment here. Let me find it. It's right here. I know it's got to be here close. Oh, yeah, right here we go. Yeah. Dude, the only other person that posts more than I do. Jim Lucas posts this insane crap. At the GOP state convention with future Indiana Governor Senator Mike Braun, he's going to do the things that need to be done as governor. Godspeed. I wrote, well, we'll see what I wrote. Maybe we can get to it. No, he's not. What is wrong with you? What could possibly make you think that or say that out loud? One little criminal act is all it takes, and the HRCC owns you for life. And that's very, very, very true. I like that Brando got on here and said, yeah, after getting in trouble, we knew that the establishment would either own him or push him out. Now we know which path was taken. And some other dude got on here and said, you didn't know which? I thought that was an easy call from the start. I love it. So, you know, it is. It's I like things like that. Here's the thing. Bottom line is, there's more work to be done. You can take that to mean whatever you want it to mean. It means if you're a Democrat, you've got to work harder to defeat what you're going to want to defeat. If you're a Republican, work harder to defeat what you want to defeat. I'm still saying that the problem stems from the fact that we don't have more people engaged on the home front. We don't have more people getting in more educated. We don't have more people stepping up to the plate to run. We don't have more people stepping up to the parties to force their inclusion into the party. Hey, I'm an outsider. I want to be a Republican. Hey, I'm an outsider. I want to be a Democrat. We have to be doing this. Libertarian, whatever it is. We have got to get more people interested at the local level, at the state level. That's how we're going to start making more of a change and bringing more people to a point where we start chipping away. Look, the reason it's such a big win and everybody's going crazy and everybody can't wait to listen to the Kendall and Casey show tomorrow and hear Rob talk about being right and great and wonderful is because this is the first time it's been a big win like this in a long time. We need to get to a point where this is not such a shock, where there's more wins and more, you know, it's not the establishment winning constantly and beating our heads against the pavement. The youth has become the majority, and they are disengaged. They just do what they are told by social media. Absolutely. That's why we're here on social media. I've got to say, this is the last thing I want to show you guys, and then we're going to leave. All right, I want to show you something. I was looking around. I was just thumbing through social media earlier. I want to get down here, and I was on a local Muncie, Delaware County page, and the page is called "What's Up Muncie." Okay, I don't know who runs what pages or whatever. I just go on them. Some of them lets me put my stuff. Some of them don't. I don't really know. You know, I don't really know what is what or who's who or what goes on. I have no clue how any of these pages work. I share my shit. If people want to hear it or see it, great. If people don't want to let people post or whatever, that's on them. As far as I'm concerned, there's like literally no one out here pushing information, pushing any kind of political information whatsoever. And so if there's people out there trying to keep that out of in front of people, out of the eyes and the ears of people in the community, well, then that's bad on them, in my opinion. I think that's really stupid. But I'm trying to click on something. I belong to this group, so it should let me see it. Let me see if I just clicked on this or not. That's the other thing that pisses me off, and that's how Facebook. Yeah, right here it is. Just found it right here. Look at this. Put that comment back up here. Where was that comment? Let me find that comment. Right here. This is the comment. The youth has become the majority, and they are disengaged. They just do what they're told by social media. Well, here's an example of social media. Look at this guy's comment. Greg Dominic. I cannot believe that the Muncie Star Press still does not have a sports editor or any sports reporters. Several newspapers in Indiana their size or smaller are able to do so. I feel bad for the many high school athletes in Delaware County who get no coverage of their accomplishments. Sad. Now, really quickly, I want to say for the record, yeah, he's right. That's horrible. That's horrible. For the high school kids that are out doing their thing and are out, working hard and getting good grades and doing their things. Yeah, that's always cool to be able to look in there and see a picture of you. I agree. It's sad that the Star Press is as sad as it is. You know what? Help us get bigger. Help us get bigger. My brother. I'll have my brother on. No one knows sports like my brother. I'll have my brother come on, and he can do a spot once, twice, 3 times a week where he can talk about sports. We can have him put content out. We'll do bigger things. I can't do that now because we are where we are. There's things that are getting lost because of this. We've got to get bigger to be able to do that. Or someone go apply to the Star Press or do something. That's the bottom line. Now, okay, that's the sports. Now let's look past the sports and let me gripe here a little bit more important stuff, in my opinion. To hell with the sports editor. We don't have reporters. We don't have reporters telling people what's happening. The Star Press publishes something 2 weeks after I talk about it. I sent the Star Press the story about being kicked out of the meeting up north that Dan had, and said, I laid it all out. I wrote the thing. I said, are you going to cover this? And I was told no. Nope. I said, are you going to cover the fact that the city lied when they stood up and read from that IC code? No. What? So let's look down here and look at these comments. Okay, all comments. Let's look at some of these comments. They've gone so far downhill since they were bought by Gannett. That's true. Okay. Very little local news. So sad. Thanks to our mayor, past and present. Okay. All right. I agree. All right. Let's look at some more of the comments. Okay. Please clarify, what impact do the mayors have on local paper, whether their sports coverage? Okay. So not on that, but just the fact of the paper. I get what Jackie's saying there. What does our past president mayor have to do with anything with our local newspaper? I would really like to hear this answer. All right. People are getting, it's just Muncie as a whole, I think is what people talked about. Okay. Is what people are getting at there. Let's see here. I don't even need to hear your explanation on what you think, because you're 100% wrong, period. If you want to blame anyone, blame the SEC for allowing 2 of the larger newspaper companies to merge, creating the largest. Listen, we can get into crazy semantics and carrying on. Here's the bottom line. We don't have reporters. We don't have people being involved. They don't fill spots because nobody's reading the shit because it's shit that no one. I mean, it's the which came first, the chicken or the egg. It's the snake eating its tail. They can't cover anybody because they don't have people who subscribe. They don't have people who subscribe because they can't cover anything because there's not coverage in the paper, and therefore they can't put anything out that people read, so people stop subscribing. Okay. Bottom line is, then we get in here, people talking about their big downfall, and then what's really comical to me is we get to a point in here where people start talking about, well, we need somebody who can do this. We need somebody who can cover this stuff. Okay? We need somebody who covers what's going on. There's not even local coverage anymore. Newspaper's a joke. There's no local coverage. There's no local coverage. You know what? I started to post in here. I started to write, hey, for anybody that wants to hear local coverage, it's not sports related, but there are other people talking about other things in sports. You can tune into my show. It's not just down the middle. There's a bias, but I'm fair about it. And I'm honest about it. I'm upfront about it. You're not going to like everything you hear, but you're going to hear more than you hear anywhere else. But I stopped because I thought, the minute I do it, I'm going to have a couple people bash me. Couple people beat me up, say, oh, yeah, Bilbrey thinks he's something, whatever. I thought, you know what? Screw it. Screw those people. They don't come looking for me. They're not jumping on whatever. You know what? Nobody else in there shared my shit. And this is not a moment where I'm like going to now beat up on you guys and be like, look, you're not sharing. But the bottom line is, there is coverage going on. Screw me. There's the Muncie Post Democrat. I don't think so. I don't even know how we would get on Newsbreak. That would be interesting. I'll have to look into that. I don't know. I don't know about that. I would be very interested. I'll have to look into that. I'm glad you said that. But the thing is, there are people on this line that listens. Now, listen, I understand it's kind of hard to share our stuff sometimes because people will beat up on you or whatever. But at the end of the day, the point is, we have to be willing to put out the content that we want to hear. We don't charge you for this content. We don't. You're not paid to be here. You don't have to pay to be here. There's not. You get on. You watch it for free. You can comment anything you want. You can hate us. You can like us. Whatever the deal is. The bottom line is, there are people out there that do it. There are other places like that give a liberal slant. You know what? Put all of them out there. Put every single one of them out there. Bing, 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 bing. Put all of us and say, hey, there are some local places. You guys might try this out. If you're so inclined. I don't know. I'm just saying, I agree. The paper is shit. One of these days, very soon, probably in our lifetimes, the Muncie Star Press will cease to exist. I believe that. And it's sad, and I hate that. It's sad, and I hate that. And listen, Janet, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying that. And I swear, I'm not beating up on you guys. I appreciate everything you do. And I know a lot of people do share, and I very much appreciate it. And I'm not trying to knock heads. I'm just saying, listen, I promote the shit out of our stuff. I'm promoting it 24 hours a day. Sometimes it's hard because it looks like man, you're being too self-promoting, blah, 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 whatever. And so sometimes I'm like, all right, I might back off a little bit or whatever. But it's just the whole point that there is people out here. There definitely are people that are putting content out, and people just have to be willing to seek it out. But once you seek it out, you got to maybe be willing to go a little bit above and beyond to try to keep that stuff alive. You know what I mean? I don't know, how else to say that. That sounds shitty. It's just like when we tell you guys to subscribe. It's like when we tell you guys about the memberships and shit like that. I hate saying that stuff. That's nonsense. I'd like to get on and just talk, but you got to do it because it's all part of the game. All right, you guys take care. I want you to have a great evening. Have a good start to your work week. We're going to have a couple of, we got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to have at least 1 or 2 good shows, I promise. So, stick around, come back. I do want to let you all know that we it is Sunday, obviously. I appreciate that, Janet. I appreciate that very, very much. One thing happened at the convention, Chris. We spoke to a lot of new delegates like me. Yeah, I love that. I love that, David. I love that. And I give me a call tomorrow, David. I need to talk to you. We need to talk a bit more. I've been busy and things have been crazy, but yeah, we need to get in touch because you're doing some great shit. I also want to let people know that it is Sunday, the 16th of June. This is the 167th day. And I know that Alva says it's the 168th day, but it's not until the day is, so the day's not lived through yet. So I count like 1 day behind because like the first day I don't count. It's the second day was the first day that he didn't answer. Day one, I didn't count because I left the question. He could have responded. So the 2nd of January was the first day that he didn't respond. So today is Sunday, the 16th of June, 2024, the 167th day without a response from Muncie City Councilor Dale Basham. No communication by way of text message, cell phone, email, Facebook Messenger, a carrier pigeon. So that is still that. And please, on your way out, hit the like, subscribe, share, do all that shit. You guys have a wonderful evening, and we will see you back here tomorrow at 9 p.m. sharp, 9 p.m. Eastern, that is. All right, take care. Good night. Goodbye. God bless. Goodbye. You already crawled up on your pillow? What's he doing on your pillow, son of a butt?